Happy December to my crypto fam. We have lots to cover. In today's show, Bitcoin sees the worst monthly close in 2 years as traders watch closely to $16,700. That's right, the Bitcoin price action strengthens into the November monthly candle close, but traders are already warning over getting too cocky on the King Crypto. Also breaking news, Russia's Sberbank integrates Metamask into its blockchain platform. That's right, Russia's largest lender is moving into DeFi as well as Web3, integrating its blockchain platform with the Ethereum blockchain. Also more breaking news, Telegram announced it will build a new decentralized exchange and a crypto wallet, according to its founder, Pavel. I'll be breaking this down for you. Also in today's show, CFTC chief says Bitcoin is the only commodity in the wake of the FTX collapse. That's right, now saying Ethereum is not a commodity and is a security, as the CFTC has faced a lot of scrutiny in the wake of the FTX collapse due to its ties with the crypto exchange and Bankman-Fried's efforts to put the committee as the key oversight body for crypto. Also in today's show, legal professionals astonished as Bankman-Fried admits failures and apologizes literally 12 times in an interview. I'll be breaking down all the highlights from this recent interview. Also in today's show, top on-chain analyst Willy Woo says Bitcoin is mirroring the 2015 and 2018 bottom formation and shares his forecast, quoting the on-chain analyst, 12,000 wouldn't shock me. 10,000, I think everyone's wanting. So it usually doesn't happen what everyone wants. So $12,000 wouldn't shock me. 12,000, 13,000, it may run away from here. It may even drop even further. These are very broad stroked indicators, but it is probably not a bad time. The dollar cost average in. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this plus so much more in today's show. Welcome everyone and happy December 1st, the final month of the year for this bearish winter of 2022. And then we put a fork in it. I'm your host, JV, and this is podcast episode number 1120 of the Crypto News Alerts pod. And we have lots to cover, so let's dive right into today's Market Watch. Checking out Coin 360, we can see Bitcoin in the green for the day, trading currently at around that $17,000 mark, while Ether, Binance Coin, XRP, Doge, and Litecoin are all pulling back and in the red. And checking out Coin Market Cap, the market cap's in at 857 billion with 50 billion in volume in the past 24 hours, with the current Bitcoin dominance at 38.3% and the Ether dominance at 18.2%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers in the past 24 hours, Phantom leading the pack, up 7%, trading at 25 cents, followed by GMX, up almost 6%, trading above $49, followed by Polygon Matic, up almost 7%, trading just under 93 cents. And below that, we have Ethereum Proof of Work and Toncoin, followed by Zcash. And checking out the top 100 cryptocurrency gainers for the past week, we can see a sea of green, which is a good sign for the alts, reclaiming some of those losses. We have Doge up a whopping 26%, FTM up almost 40%, and HT up 18.5%. And checking out one of my favorite indicators, the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, shows we're currently rated at 27 in fear, yesterday at 29, last week at 20 in extreme fear, and last month at 30 in fear. So there you have it. Welcome everyone just tuning in to today's live show. Exciting times are amongst us and we have lots to discuss. So let's dive right into today's Bitcoin technical analysis and check out what's going on in the charts. Bitcoin attempted to flip 17,000 to support on December 1st after sealing its lowest monthly close in 2 years, which was just barely above that $17,000 mark, which you can see here in the Bitcoin 1 hour candle chart. Now data from Cointelegraph Markets Pro and TradingView showed Bitcoin circling 17,100 in a second intraday charge at higher levels. The USD/Bitcoin pair managed to avoid losses as the monthly candle closed, instead of seeing solid daily gains of around 4.5% for November 30th. Nonetheless, Bitcoin shed a whopping 16.2% for the month, making November 2022 its worst since 2019. That's right, the numbers don't lie. And the more buoyant mood coincided with comments from the US Fed in a speech on inflation and the labor market. Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Fed, openly stated that the smaller interest rate hikes could begin as soon as December. Quoting him here, monetary policy affects the economy and inflation with uncertain lags, and the full effects of our rapid tightening so far are yet to be felt. And he also shared, thus it makes sense to moderate the pace of our rate increases as we approach the level of restraint that will be sufficient to bring inflation down. Good luck with that. The time for moderating the pace of rate increases may come as soon as the December meeting. Now, Powell characteristically cautioned the heralding full turning point in policy, something markets have been keenly awaiting throughout the year. Given our progress in tightening policy, the timing of that moderation is far less significant than the questions of how much further we'll need to raise rates to control inflation and the length of time it will be necessary to hold policy at a restrictive level. He added, nonetheless, stocks reacted positively, with the S&P 500 and NASDAQ ending up 3.1% and 4.4% respectively, in line with the King Crypto. Now, in response to their own, meanwhile, crypto market commentators were equally cool on the immediate prospects despite the moderate month-end gains. Crypto Tony warned that the bulls are getting cocky into December, and now it was not a suitable blind entry point, quoting the analyst here. Now is not the time to go all in, thinking this is the bottom on crypto. We have yet to see a macro higher high and higher low. Bull volume coming in, spot buys on the increase, completed corrective structure. So there you have it, and a key level to hold for continuation of the bullish market structure, he added, was 16,700, which is a great sign. We're currently above that level. And Calvin A. Pop, another analyst, agreed of the importance of an area focused on 16,700 for his own strategy. So there you have it. Let me know if you are short-term bullish or bearish on the King Crypto. And where do you feel we're likely to close 1 month from now on the last day of this month to wrap up this year of 2022? Holla at your boy in the comments. With that being shared, now let's discuss what is going on with Russia and the Metamask wallet, which is quite interesting. This was a breaking story I saw this morning. Russia's largest bank, Sber, formerly known as Sberbank, continues developing its blockchain platform by integrating it with the Ethereum blockchain. On November 30th, Sber officially announced new opportunities for its proprietary blockchain, including compatibility with smart contracts and applications on the Ethereum network. This would allow developers to move smart contracts and entire projects between Sber blockchain and public blockchain networks, the bank said. Now, Sber's latest additions also bring an integration with major software crypto wallet, Metamask, which is used to interact with the Ethereum blockchain. The integration also allows users to make operations with tokens and smart contracts placed on Sber's blockchain platform. The announcement notes, quoting them here, Sber Blockchain Lab works closely with external developers and partner companies. I am glad that our community will be able to run DeFi apps on Sber's infrastructure, head of the Blockchain Lab, Alexander Nam, said. He noted that the newly integrated features will help Sber to unite developers, corporations, and financial institutions to explore practical business applications of the blockchain, Web3, as well as decentralized finance. And as previously reported, Sberbank has been actively developing blockchain products in the recent years, filing an application with the Bank of Russia to launch a blockchain platform for its Sbercoin stablecoin in early 2021. And after receiving the central bank's approval in spring of 2022, Sber finally announced its first digital currency deal in June. Sber's majority shareholder is the government of Russia, holding 50% plus one share. Very interesting to say the least. Now, Sber's announcement came shortly after the Russian President Vladimir Putin called for the open blockchain-based settlement network. He criticized the monopoly in global financial payment systems, expressing confidence that digital currency-based technology will drive independence from banks. And at the same time, Putin's government does not allow its citizens to use crypto as payment, putting a blanket ban on payments with Bitcoin in early 2020. So it's interesting that their central bank is embracing it, but their citizens are not allowed to use it. Go figure. Welcome to Clown World. In late November, Russian lawmakers also discussed potential legal amendments in order for the government to launch a national crypto exchange. This effort is reportedly supported both by the Ministry of Finance and the Bank of Russia, which are known for having a lot of disagreement when it comes to regulating the local crypto market. So there you have it. Do you feel this is ultimately bullish news for Russia and crypto as a whole, as their central bank is embracing the King Crypto? Let me know in the comments below. And with that being shared, more breaking news, and this is a pretty big deal, as Telegram is one of the most popular apps in the world. In fact, if you're not a part of our Telegram chat for crypto news alerts, be sure to join every show here on the channel. I put in the description the link to the Telegram chat, which is ultimately telegram.cryptonewsalerts.net. Join the Telegram chat. We have about a couple thousand people in there. But anyways, with that being said, let's share our latest story surrounding the Telegram decentralized exchange and wallet, which their founder says they're excited to launch. The founder of messaging app Telegram is announcing the development of a new decentralized exchange platform and a crypto wallet. In a new post on his channel, Telegram founder and CEO Pavo says that the blockchain developers should go back to the roots of crypto and focus on decentralization, as centralized entities tend to abuse their power. Preach. Quoting him here, the blockchain industry was built on the promise of decentralization, but ended up being concentrated in the hands of a few who began to abuse their power. Facts. As a result, a lot of people lost their money when FTX, one of the largest exchange, went bankrupt. Preach. The solution is clear. Blockchain-based projects should go back to their roots, decentralization. Cryptocurrency users should switch to trustless transactions and self-hosted wallets that don't rely on any single third party. I agree 100%. According to him, Telegram will now update Fragment, its popular decentralized auction platform, to include non-custodial crypto wallets and a decentralized exchange platform, a move he says could help right the wrongs caused by excessive centralization. As he shares here, this week, Fragment will expand beyond usernames. Telegram's next step is to build a set of decentralized tools, including non-custodial wallets and decentralized exchanges for millions of people to securely trade and store cryptocurrencies. This way we can fix the wrongs caused by the excessive centralization, which let down hundreds of thousands of crypto users. That's right, literally 1 million users were affected negatively by the FTX debacle. Earlier in the month, FTX, the prominent central exchange, went bankrupt after its CEO, Sam Bankman, scam artist Fried, allegedly mishandled billions of dollars worth of customer funds, most of which are still missing. And we're not going to let Bankman-Fried off the hook, as I'm going to be covering in great detail his recent interview that he shared, and he did reveal a lot. But first, I want to dive into our next story of the day and discuss something very important, which is clarity from the CFTC that Bitcoin is the only commodity. That's right. At one point, we were thinking Ethereum would also get the green light and be considered a commodity. But guess what? They changed from a proof of work to a proof of stake, a very interesting tactic indeed, which may have been a chess move by the regulators to push that so now it could be deemed a security. So let's now break down our next story of the day. Here we go. The chief of the United States Commodity Futures Trading Commission, Rostin Behnam, claimed Bitcoin is the only crypto asset that can be viewed as a commodity during an invite-only crypto event at Princeton University, reported Fortune. His comments are quite a contrast to his early statements in October, where he claimed that Ethereum could also be viewed as a commodity. Well, guess what? No longer. The CFTC chief was answering a question on which crypto assets should be seen as commodities and which ones qualify as securities. Now, let me know in the comments below, which crypto assets do you think are likely to be deemed commodities, such as Bitcoin? Do you think any others? Holla at your boy. Now, the CFTC's chief backtracking. His comments on ETH comes in the wake of heavy scrutiny of U.S. regulators and accusations of corruption, where Republican lawmakers accusing the SEC chairman, Jerome Powell, coordinating with FTX to obtain regulatory monopoly. Facts, call him out on it. Corrupt as all hell. The debate over which cryptos qualify as commodities under the law has been a long drawn one. Bitcoin is unanimously seen as a non-security because of its true decentralized nature, whereas the status of Ethereum and several other cryptos have been a controversial topic. Ripple is currently facing a security lawsuit from the SEC as well. But meanwhile, the rest of the world is viewing Ripple/XRP as a commodity and not a security, which makes it quite interesting. The American financial regulator has found itself in hot waters in the wake of the FTX crypto exchange collapse, primarily because of its association with the exchange. The CFTC was poised to receive oversight capacity through proposed Senate legislation called the Digital Commodities Consumer Protection Act, while the CFTC chief faced a lot of criticism for the same, but defended the commission's actions, claiming they don't have the luxury to wait. And he also said that the committee has limited oversight powers and blamed the matrix of regulators as the imperfect system. However, he called for better collaboration amongst a list of regulatory bodies to come up with formidable regulations. The CFTC chief is slated for a congressional hearing December 1st, lo and behold today, discussing the collapse of the now bankrupt crypto exchange FTX and the lessons learned from the debacle. As Nancy Pelosi stock tracker shared here, breaking 8 Congress members tried to stop the SEC from inquiring into FTX by questioning the SEC's authority to acquire about crypto. 5 of those 8 members also received campaign donations from FTX, ranging from $2,900 to $11,600, proving once and for all the government and regulators are corrupt as all hell. Now, the close ties of former CEO Sam Bankman-Fried with U.S. policymakers and his lobbying efforts to make CFTC the primary crypto regulatory body has been questioned by many in the crypto community, which it should. And a recent report also alleged that 8 U.S. Congresspeople try to stop SEC from inquiring into FTX. So there you have it. The scams continue in the crypto market, which is very unfortunate. And also the CFTC, the fact that the regulators haven't made it crystal clear in black and white which crypto assets are commodities versus securities is very scary and alarming. It's because they understand that the uncertainty leads to extreme fear. And when they have uncertainty and extreme fear in the market, it's more easily to be manipulated. It's the unfortunate truth, but it is what it is. And what are your thoughts surrounding Ethereum being labeled by the CFTC as a security versus a commodity? How do you feel this will likely impact the future Ethereum price action? Let me know in the comments right down below. With that being shared, now, before I break down some low price predictions from on-chain analyst Willy Woo of what realistically can happen this crypto winter, first, I want to discuss something on everyone's mind as Sam Bankman-Fried broke his silence and was recently interviewed just yesterday. And now for some of the highlights from this recent interview. And it was, I watched it for like an hour and a half, and I was shocked by the answers he was using to respond. I thought it just made him look that much worse and like more of a fraudster, but that's just me. Here we go. Former FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried apologized or admitted failure at least a dozen times during his appearance at the New York Times Dealbook Summit, November 30th. In a wide-ranging video interview, Sam Bankman-Fried was asked to answer a number of questions surrounding the downfall of the now defunct exchange, with some even suggesting that some of his statements could be used to incriminate him in legal proceedings. Now, obviously, he knows he is protected because his parents are compliance lawyers heavily connected with the elites. In the November 30th Twitter post, crypto attorney Jeremy Hogan, partner at Hogan & Hogan, said that the light cross-examination of Sam Bankman-Fried at the Dealbook Summit has already returned at least 3 incriminating statements thus far. As he shared here, SBF is getting a light cross-examination and NYT Dealbook Summit and has made at least 3 incriminating statements so far. Why are his lawyers or parents letting him do this? Reminding everyone that both of his parents are compliance lawyers. Now, Alan Rosca from the law firm Rosca Scalato said it was pretty astonishing that he is testifying at the Dealbook Summit. Hard to think of a precedent for this. Bankman-Fried's first concession came while greeting interviewer Andrew Sorkin when he said in reference to the collapse of FTX, "Clearly, I made a lot of mistakes or things I would give anything to be able to do over again." Hopefully you appreciate my Sam Bankman-Fried impersonation. Let me know. An apology came moments later when Sorkin confronted him with a letter written by an FTX customer who lost $2 million in life savings after the exchange collapsed. "I am deeply sorry about what happened," he said in response to the customer's story. And later, when discussing the allegations that Alameda used FTX client funds to cover loans, Bankman-Fried said that while he didn't know exactly what was going on at Alameda, he concedes it was still the duty as FTX CEO to make sure I was doing diligence, so it's still my fault. A lot of these things that I have learned over the last month mark that as a pretty big oversight that I wasn't more aware of. Bankman-Fried admitted failure, again when quizzed about FTX's former standing in the industry and the loss of trust in crypto now that the exchange has collapsed, stating, Look, I screwed up. I was CEO. I was CEO of FTX. And I say this again and again, and that means I had a responsibility, and that means I was responsible ultimately for doing the right things, and we didn't, we messed up big. He continued to concede FTX failing, stating there's absolutely management failures, oversight failures, and transparency failures. Yeah, you can say that again. And towards the end of the interview, Sorkin directly asked Bankman-Fried whether he had been truthful with the audience and whether he agreed that there had been bad times that he had lied. And he's ultimately, Bankman-Fried said he wasn't aware of any of the times that he lied, but he explained that there were times when asking as a representative or marketer for FTX that he would paint FTX as compelling as possible. I wasn't talking about what the risk involved with FTX. I obviously wish that I spent more time dwelling on the downsides and less time thinking about the upsides. Now, Bankman-Fried was asked what his lawyers are telling him at the moment and whether it was a good idea for him to be speaking publicly, and he answered, very much not. The classic advice, don't say anything, recede into a hole. Now, Bankman-Fried said he believes he has a duty to talk to people and explain what happened and try to do what's right. I don't see what good is accomplished by me just sitting locked up in a room, pretending the outside world doesn't exist. Now, while the interview appeared to cover a number of confronting issues with Bankman-Fried, some of the community still believe that these questions were not challenging enough, nor was there an adequate follow-up to some of the hard-hitting questions in which 56.9% of the people who answered the survey said they were softball pitches. Yeah, and a Twitter poll launched by self-proclaimed crypto trader Cantor and Clark found more than half of those respondents believe those softball interview questions were fired at Bankman-Fried. But what are your thoughts surrounding his lame apology in this interview? Let me know your honest thoughts in those comments right down below. And I hope you appreciate those Bankman-Fried impersonations as I can carry on. I am a vegan. I am the most kindest, generous billionaire in the world, and I just love giving away money and driving around in my Toyota Corolla and having orgies at the office with, a great staff. I appreciate all of them. I would never steal money or do anything bad, but I work with the regulators. I believe in the forces of evil and donating all of my money to pandemic prevention because Biden is doing the right thing with the money, and my parents are compliance lawyers, and I love Mr. Wonderful because isn't he so wonderful? Yeah, and with that being shared, now let's dive into our final story of the day and discuss this Bitcoin price prediction from on-chain analyst Willy Woo. Top on-chain analyst Willy Woo says Bitcoin is in an accumulation phase similar to the market bottoms of 2015 and 2018. In a new interview with Scott Melker of the Wolf of Wall Street, Woo says that buyers have recently stepped in to support Bitcoin, lowering its volatility and putting it into a sideways trend, quoting on-chain analyst Willy Woo. It's that time in the cycle, really, that the accumulation does come in, right? People buy, they put a floor on the price, the volatility drops, and we saw that in the 2018 bottom, 2015 bottom. We even saw that in the 2012 bottom. So yeah, sure, people are holding the price up because they want Bitcoin. And Woo says the Bitcoin is showing resilience in the face of the market headwinds, including crypto lending firm BlockFi's recent bankruptcy filing. It is being absorbed. What was really interesting with the BlockFi bankruptcy was we saw sort of a pullback. It went down beforehand. I kind of think that was inside sellers knowing that the announcement would happen. It went down $500 or something just like that, and it got quickly absorbed. And then now we are breaking to the upside. Do I think we have got a lot of buyers at this price? Certainly the indicators I have are showing when you see a lot of coins moving and the price going sideways, that is sure a sign of accumulation. So that's been happening. I am tracking it. That's the reason why it is going sideways. And as far as what the Bitcoin price action could potentially bottom out at, the analyst has his eye on somewhere between $14,000 and $10,000, which he previously revealed as part of a Max Payne model last week, quoting Willy Woo. 12,000 wouldn't shock me. 10,000, I think everyone's wanting that, and so it usually doesn't happen what everyone wants. So $12,000 wouldn't shock me. $12,000, $13,000. It may run away from here. It may even drop further. These are very broad-stroked indicators, but it is probably not a bad time to dollar cost average in sage advice from the on-chain analyst DCA all freaking day. And to watch this video Scott Melker did with Willy Woo, the on-chain analyst, check the show notes below the video in the freaking description. With that being shared, what are your thoughts surrounding Willy Woo's Max Payne bottom price prediction for this cycle, which is somewhere between 10 and 14,000? And when do you think we're likely to bottom out? Let me know in the comments right down below. And with that being shared, now let's dive into some live Q&A where you can literally ask me anything. I see a lot of LOLs in the chat, so hopefully you were appreciating that impersonation of Scam Bankman-Fried. Plot twist, that's JV's real voice, and he's making a deeper voice for his podcast. Wouldn't that be something? Frankie V, JV, never get his body in SBF's shape. Yeah, that's the difference between me and you. Chris says if you came from the gold, silver market, equities, or bond, you would already understand the regulator's fraud. Nothing will happen. You make a great point. 100%. Rudy says, wasn't 3,800 almost the low last cycle? Ultimate low, calling for $9,500. Yeah, I just remember when we crashed in 2020, I recall we went all the way down to around that $3,500 mark. So that was approximately 2 years ago, and that was the low for that cycle. So yeah, absolutely, anything is possible here. Be prepared for anything that can happen, because if you're not prepared, you lose out at the end of the day. So always be prepared. You feel me? Chuck says it was a great attempt. Ellen, what would you say if 85% of the Bitcoin would have been a top of 100,000 and didn't get to the blow off top? That would also be an interesting scenario. Sam Bankman-Madoff. That's right, Bernie Madoff's twin brother. They actually look kind of similar, too, with the crazy afros. Ellen says he can wear a wing. Yeah, did you actually see the photo of Mr. Wonderful on Shark Tank where he puts on a wig and he looks just like Sam Bankman-Fried? Whenever Mr. O'Leary posts, I post that meme. Cracks me up because he looks just like Sam. Yes, Dragon says we asked and JV delivers. I appreciate that, bro. Much respect, and I appreciate all the support here in the live chat and the ongoing support. This is pod episode 1120. You know, I like to be the most persistent in the game, and over the long haul, I believe I will. I believe this will become the #1 crypto pod. It already is the #1 daily crypto pod. We got about 420,000 downloads for the month of November. So happy 420, but I'm looking to double this. I think our best month during the bull market, we did like 800,000 downloads in a single month. Like that. The YouTube channel was getting 20,000 plus views per video. So once the bulls return, you can only imagine 100,000 subscribers will come just like that. We'll be getting hundreds of thousands of more downloads per month, and this thing is going to blow up. So I just want to say how much I appreciate all of your support, especially the day ones out there, the whole coiners, the long-term hodlers, and those that watch the show every single day. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you, because without y'all, I'm nothing. You know what I mean? I have no platform because it's you guys supporting me. Thank you, Digital Dankness. I appreciate the super tips. This dude has been throwing me tips literally every day. So show some love to Digital Dankness. I greatly appreciate that level of support. Frankie V, you nailed it. SBF is mini Madoff because he made off with $10 billion of your money. And he doesn't even have to go to jail. How does that make you feel? He doesn't have to go to jail and he steals your money. Boy, oh boy. Happy 420. That's my birthday too. Congratulations, staying with twins. That's what's up. Chuck says you have stood the test of time, JV. That's right. If we survive this long and we still here, guess what? None of us are going anywhere. We're here for the long haul. It doesn't matter if Bitcoin dropped to freaking $10. I'm still going to be here. So I believe in the long-term vision. I believe, you know, Bitcoin as a store of value. I believe in its decentralized nature. I believe it is the antidote to CBDCs and central bank digital currencies. I believe it represents the freedom future for humanity. And without it, ultimately, I'd feel doomed and pessimistic as all hell. Why? Just take a look around the world. I mean, regulators are fraudulent. Governments are fraudulent. All the major organizations, the three-letter alphabet organizations, are fraudulent. They're criminals. They're protecting their criminal enterprise. And I feel like Bitcoin is God hacking humanity. I know this is a quote I've shared quite often. I heard Max Kaiser say it. And the more I think about it, I'm like, oh my God, Bitcoin is God hacking humanity. You know what I mean? This was designed to be here at this time because without it, we'd be screwed. Because whoever controls the money and the food supply ultimately controls the world, right? So if you have a decentralized money, guess what? They can't control you through your finances. The same way they can cut off Kanye West's bank account because he has a different political view than the mainstream, they can shut you down just as well. So what good is it if even if you were a billionaire, if they can just push a button and shut you down and freeze all of your money? That's why Bitcoin is so revolutionary. I know I'm preaching to the choir, but you already know, Bitcoin was here to help humanity get through these rough times. Never in human history have we had a decentralized currency. This is the first time. That's what makes this so big. That's why the crypto adoption is faster than the internet adoption we witnessed in the 90s. And guess what? This is only the second decade of crypto. We're still just ultimately a pup. We're just getting started, and we're going to be here for the long haul. I know each and every one of you tuning in today will be here 5 years from now, and that excites me. Where could you imagine the Bitcoin price going in another 5 years? Hypothetically say we were in the year 2027 and next month we hit 2028. Where would the Bitcoin price be right now? Let's discuss that because that gets me excited. That's why I always have a long-term outlook. I'm not just here for a quick buck. I can care less about a quick come up. I'm here for life-changing results. I'm here to spread the good word of Satoshi, Mr. Nakamoto himself. You know what I mean? And get as many people orange-pilled as possible because it's that time. What side are you on? Are you with the criminals? Are you with the banking cartels and the central banks? Are you with freedom for humanity? freedom of choice, freedom of speech, freedom to spend your Bitcoin on whatever you choose, freedom without having to use a centralized third party to validate your transaction. What side of history are you on? Let me know in the comments. That's what's up. I appreciate the love. Ellen says, let's all move to El Salvador. I'm in. Let's do it. Rudy says, JV promoting crypto inspiration. Say it loud, brother. You got it. Appreciate the support. Cal says, this is the only crypto show I feel a part of and can take part in. Thank you, JV, brother, and my Crypto News Alerts fam. That's right. Crypto News Alerts ain't here to take part. We're here to take over. That's right. Let's freaking go. Definitely helps to be a part of a community that is like-minded 100%. Chuck says 500,000 plus. Send it and let's freaking go. Rudy says, as faith in state entities fail, the long-term hodlers will prevail 100%. And that rhymes quite well. I might have to use that in a verse. Generational wealth and freedom, says Bitcoin Treaty, 100%. I am with you. I am with Bitcoin, says Ellen. Ellen says freedom. Bitcoin Cow says, I didn't want another. Oh, I wish I had invested in that 5-10 years time. This time I am in it early. Facts, fam. Bitbud, good to see you, family, says the Fed wallet coming soon. Yeah, I'm not even going to use the Fed wallet. I'm going to turn down the CBDC and just refuse to use it and just use Bitcoin for everything. It's principle at that point. I'm not going to play a part of this slave mind population. I choose to opt out and unplug from the matrix, as I did a very long time ago. When I first got started in Bitcoin in 2017, Bitcoin was around $1,500. I said right there, I'm unplugging from the matrix. F this. I'm out. I'm out. And then try to sign as many people up as possible and show people an alternative way. You know what I mean? Where they can have freedom. You know what I mean? Not worry about your wealth being confiscated. How many times have there been gold seizure acts? Because it wasn't just in the United States. This has occurred all around the world. You know what I mean? Where they can try to seize all of your assets. They can confiscate your safety security boxes at the bank. They've done this numerous times in history, and not just in the United States. I've read stories. They've done it in Italy. They've done it all over because they are corrupt as what? And they can care less about an educated, well-informed population, so they purposely keep you misinformed and stupid. They try to keep you as stupid as possible by confusing you with the reality. You know what I mean? That's why we have this clown world. That's why you see it all across crypto Twitter. And whenever I see it, I retweet it with a clown emoji and a world emoji, because that's the world we're currently living in. The only thing sane right now is Bitcoin and Bitcoiners. So congratulations and cheers and kudos to all. You know what I mean? Chris says the FBI still to this day does it. Ellen says, what do you think those 87,000 IRS are for? I can guarantee you they're not to inspect and look at what billionaires are doing. They're to harass and basically the average, ordinary, average Joe or Jane. They want you to pay more in crypto. They want to lock more people up. It's insane. And you can thank President Joe Biden. Hopefully he's no longer president this next term, but we'll see how things roll out. I almost feel like it doesn't matter left or right. The people above them pulling the strings, they make the real calls. And the presidents, unfortunately, are just puppets. You know what I mean? The New World Order is pulling the strings. You know, Illuminati pulling the strings. The puppets. You know, real power is never in the public eye. Keep that in mind. True power is never in the public eye. The true wealthiest people on this planet are not going to be published in Forbes as the wealthiest people on the planet. There's people way more, there's families way more wealthy than Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. You feel me? Way more wealthy than they'll ever be. But true power moves in silence, just like the true power behind FTX. The front man was, hey, I'm Sam Bankman-Fried. I'm billionaire. I love giving away money. I don't understand anything. I don't hire any accountants. I run over $30 billion in assets, but I'm a vegan and I have baloney boobs. Yeah, clown world. That's all I got to say. But enough of that. Now for the... Oh my God, I'm cracking myself up today. Anyways, now for the big finish, which is a recap of what I cover with you here in today's show. We discussed the latest of the Bitcoin price action as Bitcoin witnesses its first or I should say its worst monthly close in the past 2 years as traders closely watch $16,700. We also discuss Russia's Sberbank integrating Metamask into its blockchain platform, as well as Telegram will build a new decentralized exchange and crypto wallet, according to founder Pavel. And we also discussed that the CFTC says Bitcoin officially is the only commodity in the wake of the FTX collapse and now is referring to Ethereum as a security. Also in today's show, we discuss legal professionals astonished as Bankman-Fried, the scam artist himself, admits failures and apologizes literally 12 times in an interview and just looks more like a fool. Also in today's show, we discuss top on-chain analyst Willy Woo saying Bitcoin is mirroring the 2015 and 2018 bottoms. In this formation, he is predicting a bottom between $10,000 to $14,000. But where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Let me know in the comments.